Hi, good morning all. Welcome to today's webinar on ScopNet NAC Advantage from Bulwark. Myself, Rahul, I am the product manager for the ScopNet solution. Yeah, today I have my co-panelist, Mr. Yedu Krishna, who is the technical consultant from for ScopNet from Bulwark. Also, we have Miss Aigirim, who is heading the channel manager channel role for May Cyber Technologies. And also we have Mr. Abdullah Irfan Ako, who is the senior professional services engineer from May Cyber Technologies. Let's on today's agenda, we have introduction to Bulwark, and then we have a quick discussion on why NAC matters in today's threat landscape. Also, we'll be discussing on partnering with ScopNet, what are the value proposition for that same, and we'll be introducing the ScopNet NAC solution. Also, we'll be discussing on a couple of or 5 solution use cases in the region, followed by a technical demo, and we'll be having the question and answer session at the last. Bulwark, we are a cybersecurity value-added distribution for information security solutions. We are in Middle East for the past 24 years and in India for the past 7 years. Our Middle East operation or the company has been established in 1999 and in India in 2017. We have 30 plus technology vendors with 700 plus business partners in Middle East and India. Bulwark has established an excellent track record in delivering the world-class products and excellent customer service. We are also partnered with best of the breed technology vendors. We also offer award-winning products with excellent customer service. We deliver round-the-clock value-added services through our partner network across Middle East and Indian subcontinent. We also work as an extended arm of security vendors whom we represent in the region, promoting and selling the IT security products and solutions to our reseller channel partners. We also have dedicated sales, marketing, and certified technical team. From now on, I will hand it over to Ms. Aigirim to take it forward.
Thank you, Rahul. Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here today to discuss network access control and the significant benefits it brings to network security and management. Today, we will address some of the key challenges organizations face without NAC and how implementing NAC can effectively mitigate these issues. Next slide, please. Okay. So in this slide, we will be talking about key challenges faced without NAC. So it's an unauthorized access. Uncontrolled access allows unauthorized users and devices to connect to your network, increasing the risk of data breaches, malware infections, and cyber attacks. So insufficient visibility. Without NAC, there is a lack of visibility into who and what is on your network, making it difficult to detect and respond to security threats. The third one is non-compliance. Many industries and regulations require specific security controls. Without NAC, you may fail to meet these compliance standards, risking legal penalties and reputational damages. And the last, but not the least important one, is the inefficient network management. Manual device onboarding and policy enforcement are time-consuming and prone to errors, hindering the operational efficiency. So in the second slide, we will be talking about how to address these challenges with the NAC. So the first one is the access control. NAC verifies the identity and security posture of users and devices before granting access. This way, we are preventing unauthorized access. Policy enforcement. NAC enforces security policies consistently across the network, ensuring compliance and reducing the risk of human error. Visibility and control. NAC provides real-time visibility into network activity, enabling proactive threat detection and response. And when we talk about automated onboarding, NAC streamlines device onboarding and policy enforcement, improving efficiency and reducing the IT workload. So I also want to take this opportunity to talk about the significant advantages of partnering with ScopNet. My Cyber Technology is a Turkey leading brand in cybersecurity. Since 2005, my cyber technology has been dedicated to enhancing user cybersecurity processes with its network access control solution, ScopNet. So partnering with ScopNet brings numerous advantages. So in this slide, you can see here some benefits of partnering with ScopNet. Revenue generation plan. So our partnership are designed to mutually beneficial, providing robust revenue generation opportunities. And by partnering with ScopNet, you can tap into new markets and revenue streams. Onboarding and training. We offer comprehensive onboarding and training programs to ensure that our partners are fully equipped to leverage ScopNet capabilities. So this ensures a smooth integration and maximize the benefits of our solution. Incentive programs. Our partners benefit from attractive incentive programs that reward performance and commitment. These programs are designed to motivate and support our partners in achieving their business goals. And the last one is joint market programs. So we collaborate closely with our partners in joint market programs, providing marketing support and resources to help ScopNet effectively. To promote ScopNet effectively. And this collaborative approach ensures that our partners have the tools and support they need to success. I hope this session provides valuable insights into ScopNet NAC advantages and help you understand how NAC and partnership with ScopNet can benefit your organization. After this, I will leave the floor to my friend Yadu to explain ScopNet NAC solution in details.
Thank you, Adrian. So I will go through the NAC overview first. At a glance, ScopNet is providing complete visibility into your network, so you can see what is connected within your network, and we can also protect the network based on certain authorization and authentication policies. We can enable these policies from your ScopNet NAC solution, and we can automate it based on the policies. We can take some automatic action, whether you want to allow or whether you want to block the device from your network. And we can also have the compliance, because nowadays, most of the organization has to meet with certain security compliance, PCI DSS, HIPAA, GDPR, etc. So we will help the organization to meet with the security compliance using ScopNet NAC solution. And finally, the return on investment. We will reduce the risk at attack surface from your within your network. Also, it will reduce the administrative task and overhead for managing the network, because we have the automatic discovery as well as automatic action, so we can block it. Also, we have the second part will be the ScopNet as an Android part. We can do the advanced network scanning using the ScopNet solution. So ScopNet is an advanced network access control solution which support agentless, agent, and 2.1x deployment. So within ScopNet, we have three phases: discovery, authentication, and authorization. So during the discovery phase, we will help the organization to discover the devices that are connected to their network. And the second phase will be the authentication. In the authentication phase, we will help the organization to authenticate device successfully to their network. So in this authentication phase, we will check whether the device is known or unknown to the organization. And finally, the authorization phase. After the authentication, we proceed to the continuous authorization phase, where the devices are granted based on the specific security and compliance policies. When we talk about the discovery method, the first stage, we have different mechanisms to discover the device from your network. We have MAC table analysis, ARC table analysis, network scanning in order to get the device information from your network. So within MAC and ARC table analysis, as you know, we can pull the IP related and MAC address related information. Similarly, we have the network scanning. Using an ICFB request scanning, we will be able to pull within your network, and we will be able to pull the device information using the network scanning protocols. And the second phase will be authentication. As I said before, we have different authentication deployments. We have agent-based deployment, agentless deployment, and 802.1x deployment when it comes to the authentication. Within agentless approach, we are using Windows WMI as well as WinRM protocol to authenticate the Windows devices. For Linux devices, we can use SSH protocol to authenticate the device. And also we have agent-based deployment. We are providing a lightweight agent to authenticate the device to the network. So in some cases, if the open protocols are not supported, we can use this agent-based approach to authenticate the device to the network. And we have 802.1x deployment as well. If your network devices or network or appliances support the .1x deployment, we can enable this .1x deployment. In order to achieve this, ScopNet is providing a Reddiar authentication server. So using that Reddiar authentication server, we will be able to authenticate the .1x. And the last phase will be the authorization. Within authorization phase, we can authorize the device based on the identity, based on the device type, based on the complaints. When it comes to the identity part, we will check whether the device is part of your domain or not, and we can also check the user identity. Similarly, we have the device types based authentication, and this is mainly for the legacy devices. If you have legacy devices and you want to trust this device to network access, so we can enable the device type based authorization. So we will check the MAC vendor, IP ranges, MAC address information to authorize these devices to the network. Finally, the compliance based authorization. We can check whether the device is compliant with the security policies or not in this compliance based authentication. After the authorization, we can take some automatic actions. So the automatic actions can be this, like we can change the VLAN from one to another, and we can apply certain ICL to block the device from your network, and we can do the TCP reset or our positioning to block the device from your network. Also, we can do the port closing. So we can close the port of the device from the network device. So the security policies are defining based on the inventory analysis. So we have different types of inventory analysis policies within the solutions here. General inventory analysis policies as well as system specific inventory analysis policies. When it comes to the system specific inventory analysis policies, we have Windows, Linux, and Mac OS inventory policies readily available within ScopNet solution. We can check the antivirus running status. We can check the BitLocker status, applications running on the endpoint, services running on the endpoints, port detection, OS version information. Even we can check some, Windows update status as well. So based on these inventory policies, even we can take certain action like, block the device or move the device from the, move the device to the quarantine VLAN. So this is how the typical execution flow works. As I said before, like we have three phases: discovery, authentication, and authorization. So in the discovery phase, we will discover the device using the discovery protocols. So this information will be updated to our database. Later, we will go to the second phase, that is authentication. So we will check whether the device is authenticated or not. So if the authentication is successful, we will go to the third phase, that is authorization. If the authentication fails, we can immediately block or block the device from the network. Once it is reached to the authorization, this will be a continuous phase. As you can see, it's a loop. So you can continuously check the policies against the endpoints. If the endpoint is not compliant with any of these policies, we can immediately block that devices. Finally, the deployment part, ScopNet is ScopNet has like three components within the solution. So the ScopNet application server, database, and for the 802.1x deployment, we have a Reddiar server. So it's a software-based solution, so you can deploy it on cloud as well as on prem. So there is no challenge in that. Even this can be deployed in centralized manner as well as in distributed manner. In the centralized manner, you can deploy the solution in HO headquarters, and the other branches will be connected to the site-to-site VPN or MPLS LAN. And we having a single management user interface when it comes to the centralized deployment. But if you are deploying the solution in distributed architecture, so there is no connectivity between the branches and the central location. So everything will be managed separately. And you need to have like a separate user interface on each location, and you need to manage the devices and usage from each location separately. Next part will be the customer case studies. So we will go through some case studies in UAE region. So the first case study is from one of the leading oil and energy customer in UAE. So their main challenges was scattered network, and they have multiple device brands, and they have multiple branches across the Middle East region, and they want to deploy a solution which support agent and agentless operation. So their network is around like more than 6,500 users network. So how we supported them, we deployed our solution in agentless approach and agent-based approach. So we delivered the agent to authenticate the devices, as well as we used, ACA policies to device blocking and authorize the devices. And we deploy the solution in centralized manner, so other branches can be connected like through the VPN, and they will be able to manage through the central management console. The second case customer study from one of the mining companies from Qatar. So they had some existing NAC solution. We replaced the solution using ScopNet because they don't have that detection module within the NAC solution. So even they have multiple switches across the different sites, and they don't have any visibility to the network devices. We help them to resolve these things by deploying this ScopNet NAC solution. We provided like ScopNet advanced threat detection module to them. So using this advanced threat detection module, we will be able to gather inventory from their environment. We can gather and we can profile the devices and usage across their network. And the third case, customer case study will be like from the one of the manufacturing company from Oman. Yeah, in this case study, like they have only few users network, like 300 users, but their network is very complex. And also they have to satisfy, or they have to comply with certain regulatory complaints. So we deployed a NAC solution in their premise, and we profile the users and devices within their environment. Fourth customer case study will be the from insurance company in Saudi Arabia. So their main challenges was like they are handling highly confidential data, and they have to meet up with certain regulatory compliance such as PDPL, Personal Data Protection Law. So what NAC does, NAC grants access to the network based on the device identity, device type, and device security posture. And ScopNet NAC support the dynamic VLAN management. So by using this feature, we we can do the network isolation. When any non-compliant device is detected, we can immediately block that device from the network, or we can move that device to a separate VLAN. And the fifth case study is from one of the real estate company in UAE. So they have complex network with multiple VLAN, and they have traditional switches which doesn't support 802.1x deployment. So we deployed the ScopNet and agentless method using switch ACL, and using that custom command execution, we were able to satisfy, or we were able to support the traditional switches. So the next part will be the technical demo. So I will be sharing the screen. Let me log into the console. So as you can see, this is how the ScopNet console looks like. Once you log into the console, you will get an overall idea about your network. So you can see the total number of host information from your network. Out of that, how many endpoints are active, and you can see the enumeration, alien device blocked, and authorized device status from here. Within enumerated device status, you can see the devices are authenticated successfully using your credential profiles. You will be able to see all the device related information from here. You can select, once you select the device details, you can deep dive into the device section, and you can get the information. Also IP related information, MAC address information, even the port related information, MAC vendor distribution, all this information can be collected through our ScopNet NAC solution. Alien devices are the devices which are unknown to the organization. If you want to allow certain alien devices, you might have certain policies like you want to allow the legacy devices. You can do that using the classification rules. So there is a classification rules available. You can define your own classification rule here. So based on this classification rule, you can allow or trust certain legacy devices to your network. So we have some active network classification. Using that classification rule, you can authorize the devices. As you can see, these are some classification rule enabled within our premise for IP phones. As you can see, like 44 devices are authorized using these classification policies. So after the classification policy definition, we have to enable the blocking. Once you enable the blocking, all the alien devices will get blocked by using the applied policy. It can be either port-based blocking, or it can be an ACL, or it can be like a VLAN based blocking. So you can enable based on your requirement, you can enable the policies. So the initial deployment start from the credential profile creation. So we have a dedicated session for that credential profile creation, where you can define the credential profile. We have different types of credential profile available within ScopNet solution. So you can integrate your switches or network devices L2 or L1 devices to ScopNet NAC solution, or you can mention your the credential profile here. So during the polling, we can use this credential profile, and we can collect the information from your network devices. So if you go to the network devices, device management, we have the network device details here. So you can pull the information from these network devices using the credentials. We have two types of credential in order to gather these details. We have SNMP credential. This is mainly for the discovery, and we have a remote credential that is using for controlling the network device. You can apply certain ACL command. You can apply some port blocking command using this remote credential. In order to use this remote credential, we are using the SSH protocol, and you can enable the blocking as well. So we can have the blocking based on the applied policy. Here you have to define different types of blocking you want to apply within your network. It can be app blocking, guest VLAN blocking, VLAN ACL blocking. So you can apply based on your need. This blocking can be implemented. Even we can define certain custom commands as well within your network if you want to integrate with some switches which are not familiar or which are not common. You can do that. We do support the custom command integration, where you can define the custom commands and you can deploy these commands to the switches. And we have the visualization and analysis tab, where you can see the complete visualization of your network information. So we have the switch analysis, where you can see switch related information, the active ports and the passive ports within that switch. Even you can see the target devices as well connected from that particular switch port. So you can see all this information from our switch analysis. And we have the threat analysis, where you can see the threat distribution. When we talk about the threat distribution, ScopNet is providing agentless approach using WMI and WinRM commands. We will be able to uh, do the threat analysis across your network. So we can gather many information from your Windows devices, SSH, Linux or Mac OS devices. We can gather the information. So as you can see here, like you can see the threat distribution for failed login attempts, new service discovered, any scheduled task is running on your environment. You can see all this information using the threat distribution dashboard. Similarly, we have the compliance analysis. You can see the compliance status, what all devices are complying with the security policies. Over here, you will be able to see the number of enumerated devices, alien devices, if any devices are discussed and based on the classification rules, those information also available here. You can see that from the compliance policy. And this is a very good feature which is available in ScopNet NAC solution, the Windows malware analysis. Using this Windows malware analysis, we can gather many information from the Windows devices. We can gather the untrusted auto runs. We can gather the untrusted service analysis. If you go to the specific tab, you can see the complete information where this file is located, on which computer. Even you can define certain action, like you can add this device to the trusted list. Once you whitelisted this application or service, so that will consider as a trusted application. Based on these inventory analysis, you can define a baseline within your organization. Let's say you have certain application which are mandatory to be run on your environment. So you can define a policy. You have to check whether this particular application is running or not. Let's say like antivirus. So antivirus is mandatory, and you can check whether the antivirus is running on endpoint or not using the inventory policies. Also, you can see the untrusted scheduled task. If you want to block based on these, inventory policies, you can do that. You can enable the blocking based on the policies as well. Not only based on the discovery, we can enable it based on the policies as well. And we have the untrusted process analysis. You can see the untrusted process which are running on endpoint or servers. Services will be available. Services information will be available here. So all this information can be from the Windows devices remotely without any agent. Also, you can see the untrusted drivers. So what all drivers are running on Windows machines. You can get these details from the our inventory policy. And this is how the inventory dashboard looks like, where you can see the inventory dashboard distribution. You can see the number of active devices, alien devices, failed login attempts, because we have enabled some policies for failed login attempts. So you can see any failed logins are open. You can see that details from here. And you can see the active process, active service information, Mac vendor distribution, different types of Mac vendor and their distribution. You can see open port distribution. So this information can be collected from your environment using this, inventory dashboard or inventory rules. So this is how we have to define the inventory rules. We have a dedicated section for defining the inventory rules. As you can see, these are the enabled inventory rules within our premise. So you can define your inventory rule here. So you can see different types of rules are available. macOS, we have certain rules for macOS, Linux, for Windows, for servers, we have certain policies. You can enable based on your requirement. The policies can be defined from here. And the advanced pair settings, if you go to the advanced settings, you can enable the blocking. If the device is not meeting with this policy, we can enable the blocking and we can block that device from the network. Also, we have a dedicated section for dynamic VLAN management as well as 802.1x management. If you want to use .1x deployment or dynamic VLAN change management, we can utilize this functionality to enable the 802.1x standard dynamic VLAN within your environment. Also, we have a dedicated section for reporting, where we can define a different type of reports. By default, ScopNet is providing wide variety of report. You can utilize this report templates to generate the report, so that the report can be created from here. You can generate the report, or you can schedule the report based on your requirement. If you want to know what devices are blocked within your network, or what all devices are available within your network, you can define the policy here. So these are some report samples we have generated recently. So you can see here the enumerated device information. So these are the enumerated devices within our network using the authentication profiles. We are using certain authentication profile to enumerate the devices. So you can see the alien device information. the complete MAC address, IP address, post name, related information. Everything will be there in our reports. Even this can be integrated with the SIM solutions. If you have any SIM solution which needs to be integrated with the ScopNet plan, that can be done. Final part is the classification rules. I just want to give some heads up on this classification rules. So this is mainly using for the classify the legacy devices or the known devices to your network. So over here you can define different set of policies. Let me show you one. So this is a policy where we define based on a specific parameter. It can be in this policy we are using MAC vendor. So if you want to use multiple conditions, like we have to use MAC vendor, MAC address, as well as IP related information, you can define the policy here. So based on these different conditions, we will check like any device is discovered using this classification tool. So you can move that device to a particular VLAN, or if you can move that device to a particular segment. So here we have that option, clear alien flag. And after clearing the alien flag, this device will consider as a trusted device. So these devices will be, authorized to access the network. So this is mainly using for the network printers, access points, IP cameras. So if you have a network, you need to have whitelist these devices. For that, we can use this, classification rules. So that's it from my end.
Yeah, Yado, I guess we have some questions in our chat. Maybe we can go through them.
So the first question is like, ScopNet server is cloud-based or virtual-based or a device-based. It's a software-based solution. You can deploy it in any of your environment. You can deploy it on your cloud, or you can deploy it on your on-prem virtual machines. It's a software-based solution. Now, Imran, it is a software-based solution. We need to deploy it on Windows Server because it's a Windows IIS-based solution. Team, any other queries?
Yeah, Tim, one quick thing. I think we have not covered that. So our license, ScopNet is licensed based on number of IPs. Yeah, and one other advantage of the solution is that for a redundant license, if a customer needs to have an active passive mode, the end customer doesn't need to purchase a secondary license. They can use the existing licenses. It's on the licensing front. Yeah. So do we have some questions in the chats? Yeah, I don't see any further questions in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, Rahul, maybe before finishing, I just realized
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So when I was talking about the partnership benefits with the ScopNet, I forgot to mention that all the incentive will be rolling through our distributor Bulwark technology. So in case you're interested in the details, you can always contact our team from the Bulwark technology.
Yeah, thanks, Agrim. Yeah, thank you all for joining, for spending 45 minutes of your valuable time for today's webinar. So post the webinar, we'll be sharing out, we'll be sharing out the thanking mails, and also we'll be sharing you the partner incentive details. Yeah, thank you all. Have a great day.
Yeah, have a great one. Thank you for your time.
Thank you all.